We are keeping a close eye on Capitol Hill, where Dr. Anthony Fauci and CDC Director Rochelle Walensky will be testifying before a Senate committee just a few minutes from now. I want to bring in Xavier Becerra, Secretary of Health and Human Services. Secretary, I want to start with this big, great news. The FDA approving the Pfizer vaccine for kids ages 12 to 15. This thing could be available as early as Thursday. That gives us 3 months to vaccinate every middle school kid in this country. Given that, do you think the government should start mandating the vaccine in schools next year?
Well, we certainly hope that local communities will move quickly to make the plans to get their kids vaccinated now that this is moving forward. We want to hear from CDC to make sure that it's a go. But clearly, Stephanie, I think the fall looks much more promising for a lot of families.
If vaccines aren't mandated in schools, should schools be open 100%?
Well, again, those are decisions made at the local level. We've been providing guidance that says that everyone should get vaccinated. And we're doing everything we can to make that happen. And now that we can see the path for 12 to 15-year-olds to join 16 and over, that's a great message to the rest of America. So right now is the time to get vaccinated. Facilities are out there. The sites are available. The vaccines are there. We should be getting everyone to sign up. The less we vaccinate, the more we have to continue wearing masks. The more we vaccinate, the less we have to worry about masks.
I want to ask you about some breaking news. New data showing that over 1 million Americans signed up for coverage for the ACA, and that was during that special enrollment window from February 15th to May 15th. That's huge news. That window wasn't supposed to exist. That's an additional 1 million people on top of the 12 million that signed up for Obamacare during regular enrollment period that ended in December. We know that former President Trump was trying to get rid of Obamacare completely. Was all of that noise, or was there real damage done?
Well, first, Stephanie, you're absolutely right. This is a double dose of good news. First, you hear that 12 to 15-year-olds now are on the verge of getting vaccinated. And at the same time, we're finding that a million Americans have now received affordable care as a result of Obamacare. And so great news all around. We just have to make sure people continue getting out there, getting vaccinated, getting their health plans. By the way, on top of the 1 million who just got insured, there are 2 million Americans who got their care through Obamacare, who went back to healthcare.gov site and found out that they were able to reduce their premiums and out-of-pocket costs as a result of the rescue plan that the president put out there. So good news overall. We want to keep it going.
The American Families Plan makes some of these improvements permanent. It's massively important, but it's also a massive investment. And just because something is big doesn't mean it's a good investment. How do you know that the solutions you're putting forward are going to work? I certainly care about elder and disability care, but when I see the number $400 billion, I want to know, well, what is in there and how do you know these programs are good ones?
Well, Stephanie, when you compare what the American Families Plan will cost the country, it's a pittance compared to what it cost us to try to fight COVID. We've spent several $1 trillion trying to fight COVID. If more and more Americans were covered and were prepared, we could probably be in far better shape and wouldn't have to spend the trillions. And so right now, the president has proposed a plan, the American Family Plan, which would make permanent, as you just mentioned, a lot of those savings in Obamacare, and that would help tons of families. The estimate is some 4 million more families who don't have coverage right now would be able to afford health insurance if we made the American Family Plan law.
Well, let's talk about oversight, because if you add up all the money that has been spent in the last year and this infrastructure bill, we're talking about $10 trillion. I know you want American Families Plan, American Jobs Plan to go through. What is the plan for oversight? Because let me tell you, the first $2 trillion we spent under the CARES Act, the oversight committee that was supposed to be overseeing it still doesn't even have a chairperson, and it's been a year.
Yeah, so what happened in the past, we're not interested in see happen now moving forward under this administration. And I will tell you that at Health and Human Services, at my department, we're going to make sure accountability has a capital A on it, because we want to make sure that we can prove to folks that not only did they benefit by getting better coverage at a lower cost, but that the taxpayer investments made so that those families could get covered were well spent, and we're going to make sure that we can show accountability at the end of the day. And so we're going to put plans out there that work. Well, we're going to go out there and make sure that we follow through on the dollars. We're going to work with our local and state partners to make sure that we are monitoring where the money is spent. But look, the production is the ultimate decider on these things. And when you can say that already 1 million families have signed up, that's real stuff, real care for a lot of Americans. It's not just wasting money. It's actually investing in making America healthier.
I know you just said you don't want to go backwards, but is it not this administration's responsibility to have oversight over money that's been spent, whether or not it was this administration or the last? It was Congress that signed off on the CARES Act, trillions of dollars.
Right, and we're going to do everything we can now under our watch to make sure we are watching the money. And I guarantee you we will do it differently from the way it's been done in the past. But please don't pin whatever happened in the past on the Biden administration. It's a new day. We're doing it differently. We plan to make investments work.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.